Hello people and welcome back to News Review. So as you've seen just now, there are a couple of things and actually a third thing that is going to be in this video, so this is going to be a pretty long one. First off, yes, as you've seen in the title, TOS is collaborating with Demon Slayer. I don't know why they revealed it this early, because the collab's like in March, sometime in March. But finally, an anime that I have watched. Moving right on to the new black card in the Chinese New Year. Chiyou will be arriving on the 11th of February. That's also when I recommend you pull for the ancient coin seal, because then he'll be added there and you can get it for free instead of for $200. And first off, leader skill. Team attack times 7 and HP times 1.5 on both sides. This is a pretty big HP boost relative to past leaders. The reason why he doesn't have that much of a base attack multiplier is because he gets some additional stuff in his team skill and also later down the line. This is actually insane movement time because on both sides this is 5 seconds of extension regardlessly, which is pretty good. Damage received minus 20%, okay, and fire damage received minus 40%. You need to take that with a grain of salt because you won't be relying on that. He actually supports borrowing members from other attributes, but has a mainly fire focus for reasons that are in his team skill. The more the resistance dissolve, the higher his attack. So this is actually accomplished pretty easily because of the team skill right here. So first off, he ignores electrified, frozen, weakened, lock for recovery, and petrified moonstones. If you just move over them, they'll be restored. He ignores burning as well. Well, it reduces damage to 1, but that's basically what I mean. And he replicates Sky Drop just in his team skill. So if you've ever used Schrodinger, the light Machina one, or the light human from Saint Seiya, that I can't remember the name of, then you replicate your board that you dissolve. Your board, when you dissolved it, will be sky dropped. So if you make if you have 3 columns that you dissolve, then you'll drop the exact same 3 columns. And that's how he gets his team skill, his attack boost so easily from his team skill. If you dissolve half the board, then you already have 30 runestones, assuming that you're not doing any fancy stuff like stacking runestones, which may be a detriment to the team, that if you stack runestones you end up with some wonky stuff happening. Or sometimes if you dissolve runestones just not in sync, then the sky dropped board won't dissolve afterwards. That has happened to me. Next up, fire has the effect of others, and others has the effect of fire. So this means a couple of things. This means that your recovery comes from not only heart but fire, and also there's the reason why he has fire focus, because everything else also has the effect of fire. So this is also, he gives himself ignoring damage reducing resistance, so the kind of thing that you see, basically a percentage on the enemy, that's damage reducing resistance. And skill CD minus 2, that's okay. And when you start moving below his column, you recover until full. So one thing that you've noticed probably, or maybe you haven't, is that he does not give any recovery boost. So it's base level recovery, meaning it's terrible, meaning you'll have to rely on this quite a lot. And also he does ignore quite a lot of just like annoying runestone based effects, as well as furring. And I don't know if that's exactly like the best way to go about it, because as a leader, right now, this set of team skill plus the leader skill, obviously, I don't think that his base level as a leader is particularly good, because this is having to like stuff. I mean, North is the perfect example, right? She ignores like every single type of runestone debuff, but then, you know, she never got used. Obviously, that was partly because of the 600 diamond scam combo of like just insane amounts of demon leaders coming out in a very short time. But I think that like showcases kind of the problem that it's not exactly a problem, just that this guy doesn't have like insane like base team structure, such as like Enkidu in the past, and actually still, and Ingrid, you know, who have just like insane team skills, leader skills that can support it no matter what members you put in. And that is kind of important because he does support all members, you know, of all attributes and races. As a member, he can go into Berserk mode, which is by touching burning positions or dissolving 30 or more fire stones cumulatively. When he is in the Berserk mode, he gives himself attack times 2.5. He can overpower water enemies, and he can ignore defense. So once again, a good member for him as leader is Yoko, because you can get him to Berserk state and you can benefit off his attack boost. Another thing you can only do in the Berserk mode is actually unlock something in his active. So he can be in Berserk mode just by being in the team, so not necessarily as a leader. His active is CD8. If he is the leader, then restore all crack positions. It's okay, pretty unique nowadays. And tap one of the board setups to remove all of those things. So it's essentially like restoring the board, except you get a new board instead of keeping your old board. So it's like restore and explode in the same skill, which I don't even know why they did this, because you just put restore and explode. You know, it's not like it has been done before in Enkidu, Honai, stuff like that. But you remove the board, you get a new board, which is one of these down below. And actually, one of these down below. So you can either get Water, Fire, Earth, which is this one, all 5 attributes in Heart, which is this one, Light, Dark, and Heart, which is this one, and only in Berserk mode, Ultimate 5 attributes in Heart. So there's 10 combo every runestone board. So keep in mind, if he is a leader, when you dissolve each of these, you will get the exact same board dropped like right after. So this is automatically like 12 combos for 1, 2, and 3, obviously, and 20 combos for number 4. So him as a member, actually, this is pretty insane, because just the ability to choose boards like this will be very, very good, because he can deal with many different types of shields, like tricolor, you know, right here. Just quintet with amelioration, like light and dark, and then just anything that requires maybe a board like this, right? If you want to dissolve, well, all of them can dissolve a whole board for one, but I don't actually know how often you'll use this number 4 when he's not a leader, but just given 1, 2, and 3, he's very versatile in my opinion. So, you know, that's why I put him up between 175 and 200. I think I take points off him because he's not that good of a leader right now. But, of course, I'll wait for him to come out before I make final judgment on whether to pull him. Next, there is the addition of amelioration for Thanos and Rakshasa. So this is top tier amelioration, where you dissolve 3 below the monster, and then you get these effects. like, sorry, the third effect right here, right? For light and earth attacks plus 20% respectively, which is quite a lot. This just makes Rakshasa even more broken. And skill CD -2 is also pretty good. So they have both their seals will be open again. They also get new outfits, which is good. And then you got these two black cards for Qianxihua and Xiangyu, who are also coming back. And then the ancient coin seal just has literally everyone in it. You will get 30 free yours, one for one for Thanos or Rakshasa, one for Xiangyu or Qianxihua, and one for Chiyou. So 30 in total over the course of a few weeks. Next is Tournament of Duels. So I don't exactly remember what this is. I think it's been a good while since this mode has reappeared. But the card this time is a Fire Demon CD6. For 1 round, team recovery becomes 0. He launches extra attacks, and the skill stays in play for every extra fire member in the team. This recovery becomes 0 is very useful because there's the anti-recovery shield, just that exists, and the only cards that can basically solve it is Cassandra. This gives an extra, an extra member that can do that for fire and demon, so that's pretty good. I suggest you probably ignore their stamina. Next is the 72 demonic spirits. I'm pretty sure most, if not like all people, don't remember this, either because you weren't, playing the game, or just because the series is so old. So this series was like, I think the counterpart of the Disney collab, like way back, and basically there are 5 cards. No, wait. How many cards is this? There's 7 cards, which is just a weird number, sorry. So, for the water one, kind of useless. You have a chance of dodging an attack, which is really not something you want to bank on. This card is actually good. It is a fire elf that can clear effects, and actually one of the few, or is it the only elf that can have a stat clear? I don't know, but I've looked this card up like many times and been like, why can't I get this? But yeah, this is a really good card. Other than that, the only other noteworthy one is Astaroth, this dark demon, that gives you a time tunnel, which are few and far between for demons, and that's that. You can get them for souls in the soul exchange, so that's pretty good. Next, the 11th seal continues, pretty good. Next, there is monthly stages, which is just some new stages. You will get PR Immortal Heroes, dual max, when you complete level 9 of the set of stages, which is pretty good if you want to, well, if you just haven't trained them up, right? Or you don't have them at all. But it'll be hard to not get a dupe, I imagine. Next, in Oh My Yokai, the final character in the bi-weekly series, Dark Beast, CD 8. For 3 rounds, turn Dark Moonstones type following into Enchanted Beast Moonstones, and if the team owner is Beast, enchant while you're moving regardless of wherever you're touching. This is actually, pretty good. It's the dodgy effect. But Beast teams aren't good. So, it could be useful in the future, not now though. The other thing that has been revealed is this future kind of news for version 20. This changes like a lot of things. It's a huge deal, it says. So, special level materials such as like just the alpacas, the plump precious beasts, all the special mad heads. What essentially mad head is doing is they're eliminating some materials give levels and some materials give XP. They're trying to standardize everything to just give XP. So everything gives more XP, and everything does give XP, including the the spiritual eyes, the heavy gear knights, and stone inscriptors, which used to give levels instead of XP. Now they just give XP. And this is the same for the skill level up, where if you feed 5 monsters, then you used to get you still get a jump, but in the future you'll get skill rounds, which is basically the skill version of XP. And it'll actually give more skill rounds compared to before. Yeah. But one thing to note is that the 6 feeding method, where you feed 6 dupes instead of 5, will no longer be more beneficial, or disproportionately beneficial, I guess, because it won't increment the skill level. It'll only increment by skill rounds. So that's just a table of what it takes to level up by skill rounds. Next, there will be an exclusive skill level material for Diamond Seal characters. So this will be like a universal level up material for 600 skill rounds. So essentially, it will be like baby harpies, but for Diamond Seal characters. Or actually, how many rounds do baby harpies do? I'm not exactly sure, but this will be like the special level up materials that every single collab version has, which they're trying to just basically, I hope that they're trying to eliminate all of them and just give one to everyone. Next, yep, all the things that give levels are now giving skill rounds, and there is a new Ascension System as well, which will basically boost the stats of your character using orbs. Not much is known about this, but essentially you can add to your stats, add to a character's stats up to 20 times, and like literally no other information is given about this. Yeah, so not really much is known about that. So adjustments to Diamond Seal setting. This is the most ambiguous wording, and it's basically a bit divisive how you interpret it. The one interpretation is that because the guaranteed draws are reduced, but the rotation is faster, you get you pay more diamonds essentially to get the jackpot. This is true, but only if you want to get every single jackpot, every single rotation. Now, why wouldn't you want to do that? Is because I think this is referring to the Diamond Seal, the old Diamond Seals, the original ones that come around every single version now. Probably you haven't even seen it because nobody uses it. Right now it's like Sengoku Samurai. In the last version it was like Yamato or something. Or maybe that was because they PR'd, but like Knights of the Round Table I remember was on at one point. So those, like ones that nobody uses, essentially. So my personal interpretation is that they're talking about that, and then it's better for like new players or players who don't have old jackpots that are actually good to more easily get them by getting them in 20 draws instead of 35. And this actually makes sense because, think about it, you have 8 cards for like a collab seal. Let's take an example, right? Demon Slayer, you have like freaking, like you have the 3 bears, right? You have Tanjiro, you have Inosuke, and you have the Zenitsu. What the frick are you like rolling out and in? There's nothing to rotate in or out. There's this 8 cards, and that's it. And you're not going to like not let people have the jackpots at the start. That's just stupid. So that's my interpretation. I don't think in this aspect Madhead is trying to scam the diamond seals for extra money, and I don't think it'll apply for future original seals as well, although that's more ambiguous, I guess. But definitely for something that collabs, it just wouldn't make sense, right? And collabs and like new original seals kind of have the same format, so in my opinion, it would make sense, unless they change, of course, how those work as well, in which I'll be disappointed, honestly. But right now, I think the people who are saying that like this is a scam, I think they're wrong. But again, of course, when it actually comes out, then it'll be what it'll be. The new UI, I think it sucks. Moving on. Voice actors for characters. Honestly, I don't care that much. This new thing is for 19.7, not version 20. This is even more, I guess, near in the future. So you'll be able to filter out just more stuff in the material inventory. So you'll be able to store a lot of things without conditions. They'll become dual max. They can't be used in battles. And I don't know how this is going to work with the next system, where you can exchange some of these characters for the universal skill level up material. If you can take them out of your material inventory, I assume you can, because that's like how the trade fortress kind of works. But essentially, I think they're just trying to maybe encourage that part. And the last part is orbs will be also available in the trade fortress. You can exchange monsters from specific Diamond Seal series, so like trash monsters and coins. So this is actually very interesting, because if you've been playing for a long time, you're probably sitting on like a pile of like a few 100 million coins, and nowhere in the game you need to spend like a large amount of coins. Maybe like buying draconics from the trade fortress once in a while, or buying level up monsters. But like, if you're like me, you're sitting on like 200 million coins, right? I think this, if they implement it like well, maybe a chance to actually use your coins for orbs to level up like, your characters and just make your life easier. Alright, that has been probably the longest news video in a good while. If you stayed till the end, thank you very much for watching the whole video. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you like news review in general, subscribe. I do this every single week, and I will see you next week. See ya!